The end of Shaitan. Satan is released from out of the bottomless pit, to wage war, and for his final battle, and then he would be recaptured, and then Satan would be cast alive into the lake of fire, which is burning with brimstone fire. And this would be the end of Shaitan, whom is known in the Middle East also as the chief Jinni and also Iblis, and whom is better known to some as the old dragon and Satan, and also, as the mighty God, and also old Gog and Godriel, whom is the old serpent, and the beguiler, and the tempter, from the Garden of Eden, whom is better known as the serpent of old and also our arch-enemy. Revelation 21, And I John saw the holy angels of Elu'hymn, whom came down from heaven, with the keys of the bottomless pit and with a great chain in their hands. Revelation 22, And the holy angels of Elu'hymn having given the command from Elu, the Son, to capture Satan, so they laid hold onto Shaitan, whom is also that old serpent, whom is also called the old dragon, and whom is also known as IBLIS, and the destroyer and death, and also Abaddon and Apollyon. And Satan was caught, and he was bounded for 1,000 years, Revelation 23, and they cast him into the bottomless pit, and it was shut up, and they locked him in, on the inside, and they set him in shackles with the chains which was on his hands and feet and about him, and they placed a seal upon the bottomless pit, that he should not get loose, and that he should not be able to get out, and to get loose, and to wander in the earth, and to deceive the nations them, in the earth any more. And, until after the 1,000 years of his imprisonment was fulfilled, and, after that he would be released for a little season. Revelation 24, And I John saw the throne of Elu'hymn, and all those that were before Elu'hymn, and they were all judged by Elu'hymn. And I saw all those that were held and were found guilty in the judgment, and they were all judged by Elu'hymn, whom was sitting down upon his throne, and I saw all the souls of them that were beheaded for being witnesses for Elu'hymn, and by the Jesuits, and I also saw those who were killed for their witness of Elu'hymn, whom is also known as the word, Od, and also whose name was also known as and Elu, and Elu, and Elu, and Elu. And I also saw all those who were killed by Satan, whom was also known as old God. And I also saw those who did not worship God or old God, who is that beast, and that wicked, evil, cruel one, whom is known as the archfiend of mankind. And neither did they worship Baal God, and neither did they worship the image of Gog God and his son, whom was the Lord, whom was better known as Baal, that was on a crucifix, and whom is also known as Yeshua and Yeshua, and also by many other cognate names, such as the name Jesu and Ihs and Jesus and Isis and others. And I John saw all those that had received the seal of the name of which was written upon their foreheads. And I John even saw all those who had the mark of Satan in their hands. And they were the ones that were his, and they were the ones who were marked for death. And I also saw all those who had the seal of the names of Elu'hymn, and all those who were for and they were the ones whom were sealed by Elu'hymn, and only those whom were sealed by Elu'hymn were the saved ones, and they were with Elu'hymn. And they lived with and they also reigned with Elu'hymn, whom is better known as the Holy One, and whom is also called Elu, the Son, and whom is also known as the Almighty and Elu'hymn, and also the Sovereign King, and whom is also called Elu'hymn, and the King, whom is called Christ, and Amen, and whom is also called Elu'hymn, and the Father, and the Od, and they reign with Elu'hymn, whom is Elu'hymn, their Savior and Redeemer, for 1,000 years. Revelation 25, But the rest of the dead, they did not live again until after the 1,000 years had expired, and until after their judgment were finished. And this was after the first resurrection. Revelation 26, And blessed are all those whom are called to the holy city of Elu'hymn. And blessed are all those who were a part of the first resurrection, because they all overcame death and Shaitan. And Elu'hymn gave them the gift of everlasting life, and this is why the second death shall not have any power over them, because they shall become immortals, or they shall be emanated by, and they shall become the priests of, Elu'hymn. And they shall be in the holy kingdom of, Elu'hymn, whom is Christ. And they shall reign with, Elu'hymn, for 1,000 years. Revelation 27, and when the 1,000 years shall come to an end, and the time was expired, then Satan shall be loosed from out of the prison, of Elu'hymn. Revelation 28, and, Satan, whom is also known as Old God, he shall be released, and he came out of the bottomless pit and then he went throughout the nations them, that were in the earth, to deceive all the people in the nations them, and he went to all those who are in the four quarters of the earth. And to all the people that are his, and all these are known to be called by the name, Magog, and he shall gather them together to battle one another. And to fight against, the Almighty, whom is the Holy One, and whom is the Sovereign King of all the heavens and the earth. And Satan shall come up against Elu'hymn, with a large multitude of the people from the nations them, and he shall come up to fight against, the holy city of Elu'hymn, with a large multitude of the people with him, even from those who were being deceived by him, and whom were of an army, which was a very large number, and which was as numerable as the sand of the sea. Revelation 29, and Satan and Magog, they went up to check out the breadth and length and the height of the holy city of, Elu'hymn, which came down from out of heaven upon the earth, and they compassed about the holy city of Elu'hymn, and then they camped around and about the holy city of all the saved ones, which is known as the beloved city of, Elu'hymn, which is also called the holy New Jerusalem. And then fire came down from out of heaven, and it devoured them. Revelation 20:10, and then Satan and the devil that had deceived them was recaptured and they were cast into the lake of fire which is burning with brimstone, where all those who were following this beast and his son and his false prophets are in torment. And they were tormented day and night forever and ever. Revelation 20:11, and I John saw his great white throne. And, Elu'hymn, sat down to reign upon, the throne of Elu'hymn, and as he was reigning upon it, the people in the earth tried to hide from the face of, Elu'hymn, and the people in the earth could not, because the heavens and the earth, they had fled away. And there was no hiding place found for anyone to hide. Revelation 20:12, and then I John saw all the dead, that were being judged from, the very small and to the great, and they were the ones who were before, Elu'hymn, waiting to be judged, and the books were opened, and another book was opened, which is the book of life, and all the dead, they were all judged by, Elu'hymn, and then they were all being judged from out of the books, and for all the things which were written in them, and according to all their evil works, which they had done. Revelation 20:13, and the sea gave up all the dead which were in them. And death and hell they delivered up the dead which were in them, and everyone, they were judged by, Elu'hymn, and according to all their works. Revelation 20:14, and all the dead, which came up out of hell they were cast into the lake of fire. And this is called the second death. Revelation 20:15, and whatsoever was the name of whosoever that there was, if their name did not appear in the book of life, and their name was not called, and their names wasn't written in the book of life, and they were not sealed by, they were not allowed to enter, into the holy city or into the kingdom of the Almighty, whom is the sovereign, Elu'hymn. And if their names was not found written in the book of life, they were also cast into the lake of fire. The end. To be continued. Friends, would you please share my YouTube channel now? And would you please check out my message, which is called, The Father is Called E. Thank you.